Golf Central on YouTube, brought to you by the Rogue ST Woods and Irons from Callaway.
We start with breaking news today, the latest development with the Saudi-backed Golf League as LIV Golf announced an invitational series set to launch this June. LIV Golf Investments is providing more than $400 million in seed money to launch this series. A look at how this series will be constructed. They have 7 regular season events, plus a team championship, a maximum of 48 players across 12-man teams. And get this, it's 54-hole events with no cut and a shotgun start each and every event. Here's where they'll be playing this 8-event series. Kicks off in London, England, the week prior to the U.S. Open at Centurion Golf Club. Makes its way to the U.S., Portland, Oregon, Pumpkin Ridge Golf Club. Some of the other notable spots that jump out to you: Trump National Golf Club, end of July. The International in Boston. Rich Harvest Farms in Chicago, mid-September. You see they play in Saudi Arabia in October. And the team championship, the culmination at a TBD location. So hey there, welcome into Golf Central. I'm George Savarikis. Let's get right to our headline story and say hello to Rex Hoggard, who has been covering LIV Golf and the Super Golf League from the beginning. Rex, your biggest takeaway from their release today?
Well, of all the things we've been waiting to hear, and we've been waiting a long time to get all of those details that you just went into, it was what wasn't said today. I spoke with one manager of a player who's been involved with these talks, and he said this is just the beginning of the process. What this is about is LIV Golf and Greg Norman trying to initiate what's going to end up being a legal challenge. They're going to need at least one PGA Tour player to make the jump and commit to this series, to these invitational events. And at that point, it would trigger what PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan has talked about all along. He's been careful not to use the word suspended or banished, but he's insinuating it, saying that any player wouldn't be allowed to play both tours, and at that point it would become a legal challenge, and I think that's where this is headed.
Rex, we have a schedule, a format, the purse. Where are the players?
That's the million-dollar question, George. I think when you look at the players over the last 2 weeks, and really Los Angeles and the Genesis Invitational is where this seemed to reach a head. You had players sort of taking sides at that point. We've seen players on the side of the PGA Tour, Rory McIlroy and Jon Rahm. They've been very outspoken all along, but then you had Dustin Johnson and Bryson DeChambeau essentially pledge their allegiance to the tour. So now you start looking at other players that might be associated with this tour all along. And I think what we're going to end up seeing is at least one of those players committing sooner rather than later. Because again, this is a step in the process to expedite where they are right now to try to get this in court soon.
When you first look at the schedule, it goes, oh, okay, that's kind of interesting, first blush. What was the strategy and how they've laid out these 8 events?
Yeah, you just showed that schedule, and it's worth pointing out, this is based entirely on PGA Tour regulations, that 3 of those 8 events come during essentially what's the regular FedEx Cup season for the PGA Tour. That's before the Tour Championship, and then the other 5 come afterwards in the fall. This goes straight to the PGA Tour regulations. A player is granted 3 competing event releases, which is what a player needs to go and play any other event in the world. We're talking about DP World Tour or any other tour, and the PGA Tour will allow those on certain situations. However, you're only allowed 3 a season. So by breaking it up, LIV Golf and Greg Norman have given the players an opportunity to make an argument that, well, you've given these out before, why wouldn't you do it right now? And there's one stipulation, though, in the regulations that I don't think they can get around. It is written into the PGA Tour manual that competing event releases will not be given to players for events that are played in North America, and as you just saw from that schedule, there's plenty of that.